What's up, everybody? Jeremiah here. And back in January 28th, 2012, me and four other gentlemen were receiving their black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And our coach, Sifu Eddie, reached out to me at the time and asked if I could put together a video that was Meet the Future Black Belts. And it had just some small snippets of us answering questions about our jiu-jitsu journey and things like that. And we showed it at the big jiu-jitsu black belt extravaganza that Sifu Eddie hosted, and 400 or 500 of our friends and family came. Hoist Gracie came, handing out some belts. It was awesome. So that video has never been seen outside of that ceremony, and on the 10-year anniversary, I thought it'd be a cool thing to show the public. So congrats, Kenny Kim, Paul Fragakis, Rick Farrington, Steve Brown, on 10 years of being a black belt, and here's to many more. I hope you enjoy the video.
Jiu-Jitsu. What's my name? It's Kenny Kim, and I've been training Jiu-Jitsu since 2001. Well, I first heard about Jiu-Jitsu, of course, with Hoist getting in there with UFC 1, beating everybody up, and I saw that, and I thought, well, I don't know about that stuff. And years later, a good friend of mine, Tommy Cho, drugged me into a Jiu-Jitsu school, and I got a lesson. And so that's actually how I stumbled up on Jiu-Jitsu. I started training Jiu-Jitsu because, again, me being a lifetime martial artist, I thought, man, the stuff that I know, this stuff really works. And, you know, the first time I stepped foot in Tiger Academy, I had this little 100-pound guy whoop me around like I was a rag doll. And I knew that, you know, this was something that I had to put into my arsenal, because I just couldn't fathom the fact that a 100-pound guy could, I'm not a big guy, but a 100-pound guy could throw me around like a rag doll. So I tried it, and I tested myself again, probably at least 2-3 times before I actually came to a conclusion saying, hey, I have to do this, and I've been here ever since. I don't think I can explain all the benefits of training, but I think the number one thing that I benefited is the humbleness that you get from training, knowing that there's people out there that you wouldn't imagine. I mean, you don't have to be a big, tough guy to be tough on the mat. And so, I mean, just being humble. Everybody on the mat is humble. Also, you know, that put myself at a level where I knew, wow, I don't have to be a tough guy. I can be a humble guy and still know how to defend myself. So I think humbleness is the number one benefit I got. Tiger Academy, I don't know about that place. Well, it's first of all, it's very professional. It's very clean. The teammates that we have aren't a bunch of knuckleheads that want to get on the mat and beat you up and throw you around for the past 10 plus years. The staff here are very professional. It's probably the only jiu-jitsu school here in the Southeast, or almost the whole United States, that runs on a curriculum-based program rather than an instructor just stepping on the mat and wanting to teach whatever he wants to teach that day. So again, I think it's very professional, very service-oriented, unlike a lot of the other martial arts schools that I've experienced. Oh, well, people I like to thank today, there's a lot of people. First, I'd like to thank the Gracie family for making it possible for just the average people like us to learn the gentle art. Second, I'd like to thank all my training partners, present, past, and then I'd also like to thank my current students that has the confidence in me to train. And lastly, I'd like to thank my friend, instructor, and mentor, Eddie Camden, for the guidance he has given me for the past decade. And of course, my wife, Hay, she's here somewhere. Thank you, guys.
Hi, my name is Steve Brown, and I've been training Jiu-Jitsu since early 2001. Well, I watched the first UFC where Royce Gracie took on pretty much anybody, any weight, any size, any style, and won for 3 straight years, undefeated. And after the first time, I pretty much came to the conclusion that there was a hole in martial arts that was about to be filled, and that I needed to start investigating it, otherwise I'd be missing the boat. So that's what pretty much put me on the path. Well, I've been in martial arts pretty much all my life, and it's very important to me, all aspects of it, and I've always been very open-minded about martial arts, and one thing I noticed is that you couldn't hardly miss it, is that the clinching aspects and the grappling is a huge component that wasn't in the traditional stand-up types of boxing and kickboxing, karate, and I said, I've got to learn this, and so that put me on the path. Well, being another martial art, it's affected me in so many ways. It's given me a physical strength that I was unable to get in some other types of stand-up striking types of martial arts. It's given me all the other benefits, including great aerobic capacity, strength. My flexibility has increased, and it's fun as hell. Tiger, one of the first things I noticed, even in the early days, is that Eddie Camden is an extremely professional, one of the most competent, astute instructors I've come across in my life of martial arts. And he insists on keeping an atmosphere, a training regimen, and an atmosphere that makes you want to come in back day after day. He insists on a certain level of standard level that I think is very admirable, and insists that it stay that way. So I appreciate it there. Boy, it's a long list, but I guess first of all, I guess I'd have to thank my wife for putting up with me and my obsession with Jiu-Jitsu for all these years. I have to thank Sifu Eddie Camden for just being a great inspirational instructor. My longtime Saturday morning training partners, Tara, Tip, Rick, Marty, Jeff, and Ben, and also all my students over at Tiger Sandy Springs, and just the wonderful group over at Tiger, Roswell.
My name is Paul Fragakis, and I've been training Jiu-Jitsu since 2000. Well, you know, obviously, like a lot of people, the first time I ever heard of Jiu-Jitsu, saw it was in the UFC, when Royce Gracie went in there as a smaller guy and used this martial art and basically defeated everybody in the tournament, much bigger guys, all different kind of disciplines, and it was kind of a wow factor. I mean, what is this thing? How did this little guy take advantage of leverage and technique to beat all these bigger, stronger guys? And that was the first time I was exposed to it. When I started seeing it at the school, you know, I started noticing that and realizing that if in a self-defense situation, Jiu-Jitsu is the most effective martial art. So I really wanted to get involved in it, and you know, I've loved it ever since. Well, a friend of mine knew Eddie Camden, and Eddie had recently opened a school not far from my house, and I've always loved the martial arts, and I actually started training in Eddie's stand-up or striking program, and of course, being exposed to the school, I found out about Jiu-Jitsu. Well, the benefits of Jiu-Jitsu for me are a lot. I mean, number one, physically, it's a great way to stay in shape. I mean, you get your heart rate going, you burn calories, you build strength. It's just a phenomenal workout. I've never really been a guy who hung out at the gym. I've never been a runner. And Jiu-Jitsu is something that I really, really enjoy and get an unbelievable workout while I'm doing it. Mentally, Jiu-Jitsu really keeps you strong. It's a competitive martial art. I mean, we can get in there and we can spar really at full speed, full strength. And, you know, I'm a competitive guy. I like to compete. And I'm able to get in there with younger guys, bigger guys, and to do pretty well on the mat with them. So it's a great thing. Well, the best thing about Tiger Academy is the atmosphere, and obviously the teacher and owner, Eddie Camden. I mean, I think Eddie's one of the best teachers of the martial arts in the country. I mean, the guy breaks every move down and explains it clearly and concisely. It's a family atmosphere. We have great guys here. We have great family people. The place is clean as a whistle. It's just a great place and a great atmosphere, and I enjoy coming. I come as much as I can. Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank God for giving me the tools to be able to come in here every day, and I'd like to thank the school for being here for me. It's such a great place and a great atmosphere to train. I'd like to thank Eddie Camden for his teaching and his mentorship, and the way he runs the school, and I'd obviously like to thank my family for being supportive of me. You know, I spend a lot of time at Jiu-Jitsu, but they know it's important to me to be physically and mentally conditioned, and it's all good for me. So I'm really grateful to have it.
Farrington. I've been training Jiu-Jitsu probably since about 1985. I think the biggest benefit to Jiu-Jitsu are the relationships that you make. It's the people that you train with. You know, they're more than just training partners. They become friends and families. And it's extraordinary. Well, watching the first UFCs, of course, with all my karate buddies. I've been studying martial arts for probably close to 30 years. And it was something that was just groundbreaking to watch Hoist go through that whole, all those competitors in one tournament. It was incredible. The thing that I like best about training at the Tiger Academy are the relationships that I've made, lifetime friendships with people. I want to thank everybody, all my training partners, all my friends, my family, but mostly I'd like to thank Eddie Camden for providing the excellent instruction that he has given me probably for about 15 years.
My name is Jeremiah Claybrooks, and I've been training Jiu-Jitsu for about 10 and a half years now. I heard about Jiu-Jitsu through Tommy Cho. I went over to his school for karate, and he looked at me and said, "No, Jiu-Jitsu." And I rolled with a black belt over there, and after that I was hooked, and I started doing Jiu-Jitsu from there. I started training Jiu-Jitsu after college to get in shape and just to learn some self-defense. I seen the original UFCs and Hoist and liked what he was doing. I also wrestled when I was a kid, so I liked the grappling aspect of it. And once I started doing it, just fell in love with it. The benefits of Jiu-Jitsu for me was, physical. I got in better shape, got stronger. Mentally, just more confident. Walking around actually made me nicer, and it's easier to approach people. And it just never taught me to give up, because Jiu-Jitsu puts you in a lot of bad situations, just like life does, and you have to persevere and get through them. And Jiu-Jitsu teaches you that perfectly. So those are the benefits for me. What I like about training at the Tiger Academy is just the people. These guys are my family. There are no egos, so you come in and train real hard and not fear for your safety. Excellent instruction all the time. The classes go on time, so if you have a tight schedule, that's very important. And just the overall atmosphere of it, it's like a big family. So. Who would I like to thank today? No one. I actually learned all my technique from YouTube videos. So. I'm just kidding. Master Eddie taught me everything I know, even the Kimura. I'd like to thank my family, especially my wife, for washing 1,000 nasty, bloody, dirty gis. And all my training partners and the other trainers along the way. I've learned something from each and every one of you. Too many people to name, so thank you all.
Today, I want to thank God for giving me the ability to continue doing what I love to do for so many years. I feel so blessed to be able to do it and share what I love, this life-changing martial art, with so many people. I want to thank all the guys today who have given me 10 years of their lives to partner with them and to work with them to make them and myself better human beings and better martial artists. I always say that the real credit belongs to the student because they have the hardest job, which is showing up. The instructor does some of the work, yes, but the student has to be there, and the student is the one who has to go through all the training. And so I want to, thank all those guys, Kenny and Paul and Rick and Steve and Jeremiah. I'm super proud of all you guys, and I appreciate all the hard training that you've done for all these years. I want to thank Hoist for being here today and taking time out of his busy schedule. He's a rock star now, and so we're glad to have him here. I want to thank the entire Gracie family for pushing this martial art for the last 70 years and handing us, the torch to this unbelievable martial art and lifestyle system. And of course, I want to thank my family, my beautiful bride Melanie, and my kids Eddie, Ella, Ethan, and Elin, who are all coming up in the academy and in jiu-jitsu. And I do everything I do for you guys.